seats. That's usually the hotel room I get. Farthest room from the elevator.
Fire away.
Yep.
Coach, I know you may not have had a chance to really look at this specific Notre Dame team, but I was curious, what is it that's allowed Mike's offense to be so efficient over the years?
Well, I think he's a very good coach. I think he's a very good offensive coach, defensive coach as well. But to me, the thing that stands out the most about Notre Dame's teams, and not just this year, I think is what you're asking, is that the guys that can shoot the best, they get most shots. And the guys that are good offensive players, the things that they run are designed to get those players the ball in the right situations. We do a lot of freelance, and we have to talk a lot about, is that the best shot for our team? You know, let's just get a shot that everybody wants. And I think that that's a key to an offensive team, and I think that Mike's guys have done that really, really well about getting the shot that everybody on the team wants to take, whether it's Vasturi or Bonzi inside or Farrell or whoever he's had over the years. And then defensively, they can play you zone, they can play you man, and do a good job. And the thing that I did watch their game against Georgia Tech a couple of nights ago, and you lose Bonds and you don't have Matt there, and that's your two biggest keys offensively. And so all of a sudden they really trying to defend and rebound and trying to find a different way to win, and sort of just hanging around to the end and being able to make a play at the end of the game, and that's been pretty impressive.
Is that kind of the scary part, that someone unknown is going to come up and fight you? Is that?
Yeah, you know, I don't know if Matt's going to play tomorrow or not, but Bonzi is, as you guys know, preseason pick for Player of the Year, and I think rightfully so. And then Matt's just gotten better and better and better. I remember when he first started playing, I thought, man, and then he just kept getting better, and I thought he was sensational for him last year. Yeah, you know, Fluger goes 0 for 8, you don't think that's going to happen the next game. You know, you hope that you don't get it balanced out and go 8 for 8, so he's back to shooting 50%. But they've got a good basketball team, and have had, since they came in the league, I think they've been one of the top teams in the league all the time.
Seems when, you know, also Theo's gets in the lanes, they would distribute and find people on the outside and inside. The offense works so much better. You had any conversations with him about just focusing on that aspect of his game, and what kind of goes into getting him to do that? Because he looked like that against Boston College.
Yeah, it was a good game for him, because he also, I think, he had 8 rebounds. Yeah, I mean, the thing with Theo, he's got to make plays, but he's got to rebound the basketball too. And you make plays by being excited about playing, that your energy level is really at a high level. And we need Theo to do that. We need him to drive the ball to the basket and make plays. We need him to get the ball off the board and bust out. And I think his activity level, a couple of games at Virginia and Florida State, both were not a very high level, and that's what we talked about. He needed to play better, and I think he had the energy right from the start. In the Boston College game, his defensive grade, he had more good defensive plays than he had in the last 3 games combined. I think he had more rebounds in that game than he had both at Virginia and Florida State. So he was just more involved, and that's what we needed him to be.
How is progress?
I have no idea. I mean, he's dribbling the ball now and walking around, but you know, he's. I think sometime soon they're going to take another MRI and see what it looks like. But he's not doing anything. But he's not walking with crutches. He's not walking with a boot. He's walking normally. He doesn't appear to be having any pain. He stands there and does a lot of dribbling around during practice.
Coach, how would you compare this year's team from the free-throw line so far this year to your best?
Oh, you know, we've had some games where we really shot them well, but I couldn't have a clue. If you tell me this team is shooting 5 percentage points higher than last year, I'll say okay. If you tell me they're shooting 5 percentage points less, I'll say okay, because I don't really compare that stat from one year to the next. A lot of times compare stats about our defensive field goal percentage or our rebound margin or something like that. But I don't talk very much about free throws. Just don't make the sucker, that's it.
I know you said you weren't married to that lineup you used the other night, but what did you, after you looked it over, how did you assess that?
Well, I thought the most positive thing is that we did still rebound the ball very well. And then the other thing is I think that Garrison and Sterling, particularly when they got in the game, they still had some good moments. So they didn't pout, they didn't whine and sit over and act like they weren't ever going to play. They had good moments when they were in the game. So I like that part of it. And I think, again, we've played that lineup since Cam got back. You know, we didn't play without Cam, but since Cam got back, we've played that several times during the game, and I've felt pretty comfortable with it. But at the same time, I want to make sure that I give particularly Garrison, Sterling, Huff, the big Walker, the big guys, some minutes to help in their development down the road.
When you talk about rebounding, do you feel pretty confident that that group can get that done well enough on the boards, or do you just not know?
Don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not that confident about it, but that's the reason we keep emphasizing it, try to make sure that they emphasize it enough themselves.
Coach, 2 questions from Andrew Jones, who's already traveling. One is, it looked as though Luke was the beneficiary of the smaller lineup, but how did it help Theo?
Well, again, I'll go back. I don't think the lineup helped Theo. I think Theo helped Theo. I mean, I really do. You watch the tape from those other 2 games, and he was not very active. The good thing about the lineup is that you look at Theo was 5-0 assist-to-error ratio, Cam was 5-0, and Joel was 3-0. So we also had some drives to the basket, so we opened up the lane a little bit instead of having 2 post players in there. That in itself might have helped Theo, but that acts like a coaching decision. Theo helped Theo himself because he played better.
And the second question is, how did Garrison handle not starting, and are there things, obviously with your experience when you're talking to a player who has started every game his freshman year, now all of a sudden there's a lineup change?
He handled it fantastically. I didn't see any problem with him whatsoever. I talked to him about it, and he told him he was still going to play, and we still needed him to be important to us, and he really accepted that.
How has Cam kind of meshed in with the team? You know, he's still pretty 4 or 5 games into his career. Do you notice anything about how it affects it, good or bad, with Kenny or Joel or Theo?
I think they really like him. He really likes it. Some of our best ball movement has been since he's got back in the lineup. It gives us another shooter, and they trust him, and he's completely unselfish too. I mean, he gives it up, and it's amazing. It goes boom, 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 and then somebody ends up with a good shot, and it may be Cam, it may be Joy, it may be Kenny, but I think that it's been done both ways. I think he's really did a nice job of trying to blend in, and I think everybody's really accepted him.
You mentioned the other night the idea of guys hear things and they want to, they want to do well, but around here if things don't go well, they start hearing it. Do you think the other night maybe we eased a little bit of, I don't know, tell everybody to relax a little bit after the way they played the other night?
I think it depends on how we play each and every game. I think it changes. I really do. I mean, you go to South Bend, Roy won't be able to coach a lick again, if we play poorly, and players are dumb and they don't play hard enough. It's a little bit of what it is, but it's college basketball where you have the tremendous interest that we have too. But I think that to me will be judged, evaluated differently after every game.
Do you see that criticism at all? I mean,
No.
you're not
Well, I'm sure I see it some, but
When you're tooling around in the message board.
Yeah.
You don't stop on those? Really? I find that hard to believe.
I found this is a couple of years ago, there was a question on the rules test that all the coaches have to take. It was unfair. They was talking about stuff I didn't even know what the crap they were talking about. How can you give an answer when you're talking about message board and flat? Yeah, that's what it was. I didn't know if that was X-rated movie or what the crap it was. But no, I thought that was a very unfair question. But to answer your question, I've gotten so over the years that I really don't read very much about our team. And if staff feels like it, I really need to see something. I think they think pretty deeply before they hand it to me as well. To say a curse, But I don't get. I've really gotten good with the phone. Because y'all laugh, but I'm serious. Come on now. I have an ESPN app, and I can turn it on, and it gives me. I got tennis, Major League Baseball, NCAA basketball, NBA. So every night I hit the NCAA basketball and I check all the scores, and phone check the box score I can, and I hit the NBA to see how our kids did, and then I always check Major League Baseball. I check the PGA Tour, and I check Major League. So I don't have to stay up and watch the late Sports Center anymore. I just do it on my phone. So I'm stepping up in the world. I'm stepping up.
Didn't Coach Smith get all the clippings from everything that was ever written on his team? Is that
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Well, the reason I know that really well because my first few years as a part-time assistant, that was my job. One of my jobs. We got 32 papers a day. And I went through every paper every day. And excuse me. You go for Christmas break and you have 3 or 4 days, and you got 96 papers there. And I'd cut everything out, you know, and it'd be the hometown papers of prospects would be, and then all the other papers, and the paper from Charlottesville, the paper from Georgia Tech, and I'd get them on me 2 or 3 hours every day. I'd just tackle them, put them on Eddie Fogler's desk. He'd look at me, he'd take them, put them on Coach Guthridge's desk. But I think Coach Smith read a lot of it. But I don't do it.
It'd be hard to read every tweet with your name in it. It'd be hard to do.
I have no idea, you know, because I'm serious. I don't know if it's tweet or twit. I don't know which one you talk about. But I like my life where it's not governed by looking at a phone or looking at a computer all the time.
Did you do that at Kansas? When you first got the job, did you have an assistant that flipped things for you then when you first started?
Yeah, when I first started, I didn't think I was getting very much out of it. It was, for me, it was some time. It was time consuming, and you know, I still liked getting things from the prospects' hometown newspaper, see how they were playing or something like that. But now it's all the recruiting stuff. Not all, but a huge majority of it to me is done in the off season with the summer circuit, the AAU tournaments, the Nike events, Adidas events, all those things. And so it's not as much a hometown coverage of a hometown kid.
Anybody else? Do you remember the first time Coach Smith advanced the theory that teams can survive without their star for one game? Notre Dame's kind of testing a little bit here.
Oh gosh, I can't remember the first time, but I do think that, you know, and I've tried to use that myself. If we have a guy go down and, you know, come on guys, everybody's got to raise their level of play a little bit. We got to make up Joe's not here, so you know, you got to raise your level. We got to get 4 more offensive rebounds from you and 4 more from you. That'll make up for Joe being out or something like that. But Coach really believed in that, and I saw it happen myself enough to make me think it's a pretty good deal too, that they can rally. It's almost like a rally around each other and say, hey, let's play our tails off until so-and-so gets back and not lose anything here.
It's obviously more than one game, but Notre Dame without Bonzi, what have you kind of noticed from them?
I think
they adjusted?
Yeah, they've done a great job of adjusting, and it's hard to do that over long term with the skills and the talent of Bonzi, for example. Or Matt, either one. You know, I don't know if Matt's going to play Saturday or not, but Bonzi shooting over 50%, averaging a double-double, over 20 and over 10, and everybody in the league, when you started talking about playing Notre Dame, your first thing that you wanted to think about is what to do about Bonzi. So over the course of time, you know, getting the guys together mentally and raising their level of play is harder to do over a length of time than it is for one game or something like that.
You look forward to these games? I do, because last week was the opposite end of the spectrum in the ACC and how a team plays. Notre Dame was right in your kitchen on Monday.
Yeah. I'm not a very good cook either, so let's not put them in my kitchen. I enjoy the ACC. I enjoy the level of play that you have. It is, as you've heard me say many times, a marathon filled with 400-meter dashes or something like that. High of 20 and a high of 14 or whatever it is up there. I don't enjoy getting there for that. But we've played at Notre Dame, I guess, 2 different years? Twice, yeah. And I do. I enjoy going to play in places like that. And the league is fun, but it's a heck of a lot more fun if your team's good and you're playing well. Because if it's not, you know, it just beats you down every single day. You gotta have your A game, or you know, you want to go home with a loss. But Mike Bray's he's really a good guy, and I enjoy seeing a bunch of the coaches too. I got to tell him, he's a better man, bigger man, or a dumber man. I don't know which one. But walking in that locker room without a shirt on, celebrating that, my boy, he was my hero that day.
That's why.
That's right.
I thought I had Coach convinced to wear what Bray wore in Hawaii, but until he told me it was going to be 20 degrees on Saturday. He said,
Mike was